Hey, I'm Brian Van, SportbikeTrackYou.com, and today we're going to break down the Arai Signet-X Helmet. The Arai Signet-X sells from $611 for a solid up to $746 for a graphic. Please understand we don't update the videos when pricing changes, only if the model itself has been completely redesigned, warranting a new video. Arai is the only company out there that offers multiple interior head shapes to really help you get that perfect fit. The most important part with any helmet is how well it fits. Proper fit dictates performance and safety. A $1,000 helmet that fits like shit is less safe and is going to perform on a lower level than a $200 helmet that fits you perfect. We all have different head shapes. The most common here in North America is intermediate oval, which is a little longer front to back than from side to side. The Signet-X is built for people who are significantly longer front to back than they are side to side, so more of a narrow head width, right? That is a unique pattern. Most of the helmets that are sold here from companies that are producing one head shape are built in what is the most common, the intermediate oval. So that's really what makes the Signet-X stand out. Who is this helmet right for? Well, that is a simple equation with this one. If you're one of those riders who every time you try on a new helmet, you are getting hot spots up here in the temple and you feel like there's too much space on the sides, Arai has built a helmet that will change your life, and it is the Signet-X, okay? So you know who you are. If you're that long oval head shape, this is the right helmet for you. Where will this helmet be at home? This helmet will be at home, any street ride, as well as any level of racing on the racetrack. Remember, this is an Arai. The safety that you find in their top-end Corsair X, you're going to find the same level of protection and performance in their Signet-X as well. This helmet is Snell certified. Depending on when it was produced, it could be a Snell 2015 or the most current graphics will be available in the new Snell M2020D certification. It weighs 3.6 pounds in a size medium on our digital shipping scale. Let's dive into sizing and interior shape. We've already touched on the interior shape. This is long oval. I measure 58 centimeters right on the button with an intermediate oval head shape. I wear a medium in almost every helmet out there. The Arai size chart calls for a medium for me. I own a medium Corsair X, this medium Signet-X, a medium Quantum X, and I can assure you each one of them fits different. Without a doubt, when I put this one on, I can feel how much narrower it is up here in the temple area, right? Side to side, this is definitely much narrower than the Corsair X. I'm able to put it on. The fit is good. It is a little snugger in that area than I would like. When I ride in this for an extended period of time, I do begin to notice the pressure in that area, and it gets just a little bit uncomfortable for me. It's really going to depend on the length of the ride before it's a problem for me. Once again, this helmet was not built for me. This helmet was built for somebody with a long oval head shape. Without having a long oval, I can tell you that the 58 centimeters for the medium, for me, that does ring true. Glasses compatibility. This helmet is comfortable for wearing glasses. You have easy on, off effort, and the glasses sit right on your nose. Okay, let's break down some features and benefits of the Signet-X. Let's begin with ventilation. That is certainly one of the most important features for any rider out there. This has a very capable ventilation system. We'll start off here at the top. 2-position intake vents on the top of the helmet. They have a nice solid action quality pieces. They are replaceable too if you happen to damage them. They can be reordered and replaced. There are vents up here in the brow. There is some ductwork behind these that channels the air right to your temples, and that's a hot spot. It really helps to keep the rider cool and comfortable. Another intake vent is found here in the chin. This is a 2-position vent that is able to bring air up onto the shield to help aid demisting and flow air into the viewport area, as well as flow air into the mouth area, right? So introduce air into the chin bar of the helmet. Exhaust ventilation is managed through these venturi vents here on the side. This active neck roll venturi. This is a really unique piece. It's a rubber piece that's stitched onto the neck roll. On the back side of it, there are 3 intake holes. Venturi effect, as you're moving, it flows air through these, right, which creates a suction on the back side, and any heat energy that's trapped in this area here, the gap found between the top of the neck roll and the back of the top pad, just kind of sucks that right out. And then we have a multi-position exhaust vent here that has 3 holes internally that once again help to allow air to move out of the helmet, so the heat and the moisture flow right out of the helmet. Having ridden in this helmet, I can tell you this ventilation system is very effective. It does a great job at keeping the rider comfortable and cool. Number of shells. They use 5 different shell sizes. Extra small is one size, small is a second size. Medium and large share the same shell. Extra large and 2X have their own shell. Talking about the shell right now, and this is really one of the keys with Arai. You'll notice the round design. This is a Corsair X shell, but this just gives you a really good visual. It's round for a reason. One, it performs good in aerodynamics, and that's fantastic. But in crashing, when you're sliding with this very round design, if you happen to hit an imperfection in the pavement, this is much more likely to just skip over it than if you had a very sharp ridge back here. And some of the other helmets use designs like that, a sharp ridge that could catch on that, transmit energy to your neck, twist there, it could create a tumble, right? So Arai believes very firmly in that round shape, and over the years, all the data they've collected really supports that as well. These shells are also handmade in Japan by craftsmen. There's a lot of different materials that go into this. This isn't just some low-end crushed fiberglass with some resin, right? You can clearly see if you look inside here, and Cale will try and get nice and close, there are many different colors and textures that go into this shell. Over the years, this has continued to evolve as they've learned more and more. They build it into the shell, and they put strategic strength into this, into the areas where it's necessary. Their EPS is also very unique. It's a multi-density EPS. Every one of these colors you see is actually a different material. You've got yellow up here, you've got green, you've got pink, you've got kind of a white, and then more of a black or a gray color. When you have this in your hand, you can feel the difference in each one of these pieces. And the reason they do that is the different areas of the EPS in conjunction with the different materials used here in the shell, they use this as that crumple zone to help manage the energy and an impact. This shell is very strong. I can literally put it on its side and I can stand on it. I weigh about 200 pounds. You don't hear any cracking. It does not give way. This is very strong, I'm compressing that really hard right now. Very rigid for a reason. It's built for the really big impact, but they're able to manage the small and the medium impacts with this multi-density liner. This is really the heart and soul, these two pieces of the Arai helmet safety philosophy. Aerodynamic performance of this helmet, I already touched on that. Riding in it, it was good. It's got a really sleek exterior design. The road noise is pretty quiet too, and one of the ways they get you there with the Signet-X is they have this much larger chin curtain, okay? This can be removed. You can ride without it, and I'll show you that in the second part of this video. But you see how it protrudes down a little bit? That just helps to get into the wind, get it flowing away from the bottom of the neck roll, and it really seals up nice right here. Does a couple things, keeps it more quiet for the rider, and also it helps a lot of the exhaust as you're exhaling to go out through the chin vent itself and just kind of keep the air circulating and being cleared inside the helmet. The shield system. This ships with a Pinlock insert as well as a clear shield. The Pinlock is basically the benchmark for fog-free performance. It works fantastic. Most riders at this point have probably used a helmet that had a Pinlock shield and can attest to the fact it works flipping fantastic, okay? There are mirrored shields, tinted shields, dark tint, light tint that are available for this. And let's say that you want a drop-down inner shield. That's a feature we see from a lot of the brands at this point, where they have a drop-down inner shield that lives between the shell of the helmet and the EPS. Clearly, to do that, you're either going to have to reduce some EPS, you're going to have to make the shell itself bigger to accommodate for the shield and the mechanisms, And at the end of the day, Arai simply would not do that. They felt that compromised the safety of the helmet. They want the integrity of the helmet to always be left intact. So what they did is they developed a system. I'm showing you this here on a previous generation, an older model, their Pro Shade system. This is another clear shield that is purpose-built, and it has exterior hinges on it right here that will then accept a tinted drop-down screen that lives on the outside. It never touches the shield. It's not scratching anything. It's available in many different shades. They have some mirrored drop-down shades that are available for it. They have the smoke. They have the dark smoke. When it's in the upward position, it locks, okay? I've ridden with this helmet, with this Pro Shade. I can tell you that it works really nice. And even when you have it in the upward position, you can kind of hear it in the wind a little bit. It's not horrific. It doesn't sound like a jet airplane or anything, but you do kind of notice it. At the end of the day, they've done that because they will not compromise the safety of the helmet. And that is one of the intangibles with Arai that really separates them from the rest. They don't just build in the features that everybody wants. They start with it has to be what they believe is the safest helmet in the world, bar none, and they won't do anything to compromise that. Okay, before I disassemble this engineering marvel and give you a really close look from the inside out, let's talk a little bit about the interior system that comes in it too. It's really high-end fabrics. They feel super comfortable against your face. Their cheek pads use something that they call the FCS system, facial contouring system, and boy, I can really show you this more when I have them out. But essentially what they do is they kind of at the bottom fold out of the way, right, when you're taking the helmet on and off, and then cradle your face when you have the helmet on. Really cool, super effective. They also offer 5mm peel-off layers. Let's say you get the helmet, and when you first wear it, you're like, man, this is a little snug, but I think it's going to break in. And you invest the time in breaking in, it's still just a little tighter than you would like. You're able to remove the top pad and peel away layers from the temple area, right, to make it a little more open in that area. Or in the cheek pads, you're able to pull the peel away out of there and give yourself a little more room in the cheek pad. And that is a feature that is unique to Arai, and it allows you to tune the shape and the fit of the helmet without buying additional pieces. Of course, if necessary to really get that perfect fit, you are able to install optional top pads and optional cheek pads that can be thicker or thinner than what are found in the helmet as it ships from the factory. The shield. Let's go ahead now and focus on the shield. This is a pinlock ready shield. It ships with the pinlock insert. To remove and replace the shield, raise it all the way in the upwardmost position. You see this little trigger right here? There's an arrow that's going to indicate push back, and you'll see the side pod jumps off. Same on the other side. And when you push this back, one of the things I want you to watch for is, did it stay engaged towards the back? If it did, you should just be able then to rotate the shield forward, and it literally jumps off the helmet, right? That's pretty badass. There is a lot of engineering that goes into this right here. You know, what they wanted to do is they wanted to keep this as flush as possible, not have these really deep pockets where you have the shield pivot built into the side of the helmet, because they felt that that has a compromising effect on the structural integrity of the shell. To reinstall this, I like to hold the shields from the edges like so. One side at a time, slide the shield over, and focusing on this little brass insert here, you get this to jump in the channel. That little brass insert, rotate up, and you feel that dip in to that channel right there. Once that happens, go ahead and grab your side pod cover, and I'll show you there's a little tab right here. It's basically a hook. It engages here. Working from the top to the bottom, get that to engage, push, you hear an audible click. Let's go over to the other side. Same situation. Rotate that around till it jumps in, then rotate up. You see that drop in. Grab your side plate, push down, hear the click, and let's actuate it a couple of times to make sure we're good to go. Like so. That's really pretty easy, isn't it? The interior of the helmet is fully removable, washable, and replaceable. We're going to start by showing you the chin curtain. This is that more street riding, touring chin cushion, right? You don't have to leave this in all the time. If it's super hot out, what I found sometimes it's more effective is to have this out of here. It will get a little bit noisier, okay, than it is with this in here, but I feel like there's a more dramatic cooling effect. To remove this, I want you to push down and pull in. Right, and you can hear that tab disengage. So kind of push down and pull in. That disengages really easy. Up here in the front, kind of grab it, and I want you to slide it over to one side while you're putting pressure in and back, and it comes right out. Now you're left with the built-in interior chin curtain that has multiple positions, right? To help calm and quiet the wind in this area, you can pull this down. It is important to note that when you're putting the helmet on or taking the helmet off, you should try to have this in the upwardmost position. These cheek pads are emergency release ready. You simply pull on this right here, and the cheek pad comes right out of the helmet. You can use that when you're going to service it, to clean the liner or tune the liner. I'll show you how to repack everything. You need to release it from the neck roll. Grab the flap here on the cheek pad, pull over, and there's a little tab right here that slides in this pocket. You need to pull that out. For the other cheek pad, just do the same thing. Just grab that, pull it right down, slide that out, pull your chin strap out. The neck roll is removable. I want you to grab it right back here and rotate to twist it out. That helps to disengage the clips. For the top pad, there are 2 snaps in the back. Get your thumb between the EPS and the back of the top pad to release the snap. Up in the front, find the 2 snaps, repeat the process, and that'll get your top pad out. Give you a close look at this. Really high-end fabrics are using this. You can see there's a ton of technology just in this helmet liner. Give you a look at the peel-away liner on the side. You can see how that's glued on there in just segments, so you're able to actually just remove that, and it's going to open the helmet up in the temple area. There's 1 pocket on each side. These cheek pads are kind of a little engineering marvel all on their own, right? This isn't just a hunk of foam here. It is way more complicated than that. We'll give you a nice look here at just that. Here's the front portion of the cheek pad. Check that out. There's that spring effect that I was talking about, kind of how it cradles the front of your jaw. There is a layer of flexible plastic here that helps to hold the shape. It's shaped over in a curve, like so. And multiple densities of foam are being used. This isn't just 1 hunk of foam. This is multiple densities of foam strategically placed to help get that perfect fit and feel from your Arai helmet. The peel-away layer is the outermost layer here. And you can see how that's glued on just in segments, so you're able to carefully tear it away. If you plan to use one of the universal Bluetooth communicator devices on this, the cheek pad is designed to accept that. There is a pocket molded into the back EPS of the cheek pad, a little flap that folds out of the way here, so you can install it right there. Any one of the current universals, the common ones that are out there, should work well with this helmet. And I think, you know, even just this cheek pad and the top pad, you take a look at this, and this looks a lot different than what you see from the competition. There's just a tremendous amount of engineering that goes into just this system right here. Moving on to the helmet itself. Now we're down to just the shell and that internal EPS. Some of the high points to look at here are going to be, look at the ductwork. This is that intake duct on the shield vent, and your exhaust. Let me see if I can get in a position where I can show it. It's right here. Can you see that, Caleb, where my finger is? So that's going to introduce the air that comes in here, kind of on your temple back here. Super effective at keeping the rider cool and comfortable. Ventilation built into the EPS. Here's the 2 intakes up front. There are 3 holes back here for exhaust, and another 2 holes back here for exhaust that line up with these Venturi style vents that are back here in the rear portion of the shell. Up here in the chin bar, you can see the intake in the mouth area. There's a lot that goes into this helmet. This is a really unique piece. Their entire philosophy while there's things they share with other manufacturers, and I do believe all the other high-end guys too, they're really trying to produce products they feel are in the best possible position to protect their rider. What makes Arai unique is it's family owned and operated. They don't answer to anybody. They're building helmets they feel are the absolute best in the world. These shells are built by craftsmen, hand-built in Japan by people that take a tremendous amount of pride in their work, and I think even that is a relevant thing in this conversation, right? It's just a level of engineering, quality, commitment, and dedication that you don't see from every company out there in the world today. I'm a big fan of Arai helmets, enough so that my son Max rides and races in Arai. That's all he's worn thus far on the racetrack. Me, I move around and I ride in many different helmets out there because I need to be in a position to understand how the rest of them perform. With that said, I never go out and ride in anything that I don't feel is safe myself. This has always been one of my favorites. I have many Arais in my collection. I've always enjoyed riding them. They're expensive, but they're worth the investment. If you have any questions, just leave those in the comments section of this video. I answer all that stuff myself, and I'm here to make sure you get a great experience from your next Arai helmet.